My Gavan and Melonin, and well met indeed. I'm Arach here, Galadrian, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to the same as I continue showing off what Dol Amroth has to offer when played by a child, as many people have commented. We are doing alright, in my opinion. The Ardenaim have landed on our shores, Captain Evolazir, but he hasn't really got anything, we'll take him down. A large army is being mustered in Methrast and Dol Amroth, which will sail across, take back our stronghold from Imrahil's Point, and then we shall head down and take Umbar out, with the express plan of holding on to everything we take from Umbar. We sold last time Amun Aithel to the Ardenaim, and we sold Finabel back to Harad, which many of you were displeased with, and I moved population from Dol Amroth to Tirithoros, which again many of you were displeased with. However, I take on board what you've said, and I've logged your disagreement in the minutes, where they shall remain should anybody wish to read them. I certainly won't be one of those. But we're going to try and defend Khand in towns by holding on and trying to use our advantages, which is that we can defend better than they can. So we're going to try and hold in towns, which we're going to put to the test when Kemek comes for Vildan Kalime in a short moment. We are hoping that he's going to take 5 turns so that we get a militia garrison, but it's very unlikely. And of course in the south I'm really hoping that the faction leader of Harad, Serpent Lord Musab, will rise up from Tal al-Jaf and we can then take him out. But I think I might have to move away the 2 ground units to get him to think he can beat us. But for now, we're ending the turn, so let's do that. Now, don't get me wrong, I do appreciate your comments, but as I have always said and will always say, I play this game how I play this game, and if you don't like watching the way I play it, then I'm afraid we part ways here. And if you do, then stick around, you might enjoy it. But I've always played YouTube. I've always played the game exactly how I want to play it. I've tried not to conform to make it more entertaining or anything like that, being up and down, because the bottom line with this channel is that I'm not trying to make a job out of this. So if I will just play it how I enjoy playing it, because then I'm more likely to play it for longer. And if you enjoy that, then brilliant. I'm glad and welcome along. But if you dislike it, then so be it. Just don't watch. But some people still take great umbrage with the way I play. And they voice that a lot. Now, interestingly, Evolazir has disappeared, so I think they've sailed him back down to Imrahil's Point, perhaps on site of the large garrisons we've just accrued. We're already losing money. That's not what I want on that one. So you're never going to train, and you're never going to train. In Methrast, you've trained everything you're going to get anyway. We can move you into some forts. We've got a few free. So you guys head up to that one, and then I can take you guys out. No, we're going to leave you behind because you're going to be the actual garrison. I'll take the 4 of them. So there we are, they're free. And we now make 40 gold coins. You're about to get 2 more units and a ship. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 7. Probably take the lot of them. Leave behind the coastal wardens. So what's that? 10, 13. So we have 15 units. That's not a small army. Of course, the goal is to link it up with Imrahil in time.
Protect the blood of Numan. I will not waste words.
I think Imrahil could probably kill that on his own, but it would be helpful to have Istian with him. Oh, and at the start of this episode, by the way, Istian joined our family tree. I got a Man of the Hour popped up when I loaded up the game, so I don't know how I missed that last time. I don't think it popped up last time, is my lord. Is what I think, but yes, it may have done. Khaldun, where we find Arghimilkhad, the faction leader, who comes from Umbar itself. That's good to note. So that's the leader, and Herumor is their faction heir. So someone's died somewhere. Oh yes, we killed Gimel Zor and Gimel Thon, didn't we, actually, in battle? The enemy has arrived at Vildan Kalime. Very well. Bring it on. We get a castle here in 3 turns, which will make Tirithoros so much more useful. I think something that might prove to be beneficial, what I am hoping to do for Dol Amroth, if I'm honest, and I don't really care if it makes it, too easy, you're pandering to the masses, which some people say, but I'd really like to try and make it viable to take Horondor. At the moment, this campaign is very much about to prove that the only way to actually win Dol Amroth is to rush someone out of the game. We've already crippled Harad, but we didn't take them out, and now we're going to take out the Ardenaim, which we should probably be able to do without too much trouble. Khand are always, obviously, a major threat unless they side with the Wizards. If they side with the Wizards, the campaign's over anyway. But over and in our favour, I mean. Once Khand are out of the equation, victory is assured. Like, there's no challenge then. The 3 nations are what make the challenge. Now, providing that Khan do stay at war with you, I want it to be viable for you to sort of slowly slog your way through. And I think one way of doing that is just making these towns more advanced. Because at the moment, taking Turathoros, alright, I've cheated population growth in by moving them from Dol Amroth in order to get it to upgrade. But before that point, that Vildan Kalame and Amun Aithel and Baradhan are all crappy low level. Towns are useless in terms of progression, and keeps are equally terrible. The problem with keeps is that it would have taken me hundreds of turns to upgrade Turathoros into a castle, which is just too long. So I think something that could be done is Turathoros could be made a castle from game start and perhaps moved closer to the mouth, so that it gives Dol Amroth a real staging ground, you know, a location to jump forward and take these lands. And I think places like perhaps Vildan Kalame could remain a town, but maybe Amun Aithel could be made a large town. But then that's actually getting too close to Gobel Mirlon, isn't it? I note Imlad Khanan, of course, is also just a town. So perhaps if Vildan Kalame was made a large town, so you had a castle here and you had a large town here, no buildings within them, but just already that basis for upgrade, I think that might change the way that they play drastically.
Ready your weapons.
But speaking of changing the way they play, I note that Marwan's coming over, but that seems to be the only army they've sent. Where is our spy? He's there on the bridge. Look at the Khandish forces. It's ridiculous.
Approaching quietly. Approaching quietly.
If we could have taken Khanan, that would have been so much better, because then Khan would have only one line into us, because this southern region is held by Harad, who at the moment aren't really strong enough to do out, because we took away their main recruitment centre. But I think we can end the turn, and we will just leave the army there. But 5 turns is a long old time. No, I think what I will do is move them out. Try and get them to go and hide. With Imrahil on his own, they may think that... They may then believe they can take us down, and we shall see. Thank you to you all for the comments on the last episode about my plans for the sort of lore meets DaC overviews. I've been thinking about those more this week, and I will plough ahead with my plan to do that, but there's a couple of nations where it will be a bit of a challenge, because for Rohan and for Gondor, for example, just off the top of my head, yes, thank you, Harad, they play exactly, like, we haven't created any fake lore for them. They play as they would have played if this were, like, completely strictly true to lore. The only difference, of course, being Boromir and Faramir are born a little bit earlier than they should have done. What do you actually have? 101 of them will be a bit of a pain, but really it's just, can we get Musab down quickly? For nations like Dorwinion, of course, the video would be almost entirely about the DaC universe of Dorwinion and what we have done to create lore for Dorwinion, because the actual lore of Dorwinion is basically non-existent. So the videos, there may be a little bit of a... It'll take some working out, I think. I need to have a real think about how it's going to be best to do it. But I am keen to do that. And then the overall state of lore videos, like the proper lore videos, I'll have to just sort of wait and see with them. Because at the moment I am my mind at the moment is fairly convinced I'd be happy to just drop them and then maybe do one every now and then when I really feel, I really actually do fancy doing a lore video today. Otherwise, though, I'd be happy to just see them go. But I'm not going to completely decide on that just yet, so we'll wait and see. I'm really hoping that double charge on Musab will shatter his forces. We do seem to be killing them by the number, but the trollmen have arrived, so it's time to pull away. There we are. Right, Imrahil. Brave, strong Imrahil. In the name of your forefathers and all the free folk of Gondor, you must succeed in this charge. The Trollmen warriors must die, and if you take your life in taking them down, damn will I be disappointed. Give it a good old going. Here we go. There are 100 Trollmen warriors. Imrahil's battalion smashes into the side. Oh, look, as Istion gets cleaved in from the side. There are only 44 Trollmen warriors remaining.
The enemy general lies dead.
Oh, Istion, you demon!
Have his miserable bones,
yes!
our swords have his men.
Musab has fallen to Istion's blade. Istion, you've now definitely earned a city name after yourself. So, everyone, if you would, any cool, interesting names you think we could name the town after Istion, I would like those suggestions, because we're definitely going to give him the honour now, after killing Musab. If you would like a little bit of information, Dol Amroth, of course, is a half Numenorian, half Elven, if in truth, faction. So the name could well be just English if you want it to be. It could well also be Sindarin or Quenya. I doubt they'd use Ardennaic, but they might use Quenya and Sindarin still. In fact, they definitely use Sindarin still. So do have a think of the names that you would call it. Istion's Glory is a little bit tired, isn't it? I've used that too much, really. Although we haven't used it for Istion directly, but...
The battle seems to be swinging in our favour.
Slaughter.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Go on then, kill that last one.
Our
There we
foe
go.
is utterly vanquished.
Yes!
All who remember
8
this
men
day,
lost, hundreds
remember
dead.
it.
Imrahil is doing fantastic work. Absolutely fantastic. Ares blesses his blade indeed, although the Ares of this world, of course, is called Tolkus. And it is he one turns to for power and strength on the battlefield. Tolkus famously being the most physically strong of all the Valar, indeed being able to actually overpower Melkor in a fight. And he famously did do that. Right, let's exterminate them all, because this town's never going to be useful to us. Can't have come. Yes, we can test our theory. Can we hold the hordes? What unit do we get that places stakes? I can't remember. That'd be super useful to have a stake placing unit right about now. Sorry everyone, I'm just going to delete everything. Oh, hello. No way! Oh, glory be. The world has just righted so many wrongs. Harad have died. This campaign on the 35th turn has just been won. And I shall continue playing. Can you imagine if Khan side with the Blue Wizards now as well? It would just be ridiculous. Something I can talk about right now, because that has just happened, is that I have, since this video, done what I can to expand on family trees. So this is likely to be less of a problem in future versions. But of course, our repeated... What on earth is going on outside? I hope you can't hear that. But of course, our repeated raids on Harad have now borne the greatest of fruit, because we've just killed them. We've just wiped them out. Now, I think that army does still exist there, so I'm just going to send the army out to kill that. But we will now sail for Umbar, although we're going to... First of all, we'll sail over here with that one ship that we've got. So let's move you over there. And if the enemy comes to take that ship out, we'll see it as a sign that we should leave the island alone. Oh no, we're just waiting for that to disband. Oh no, of course, he won a valiant victory, didn't he? Ages and ages ago. Yes, of course. Right, everybody, I know it's going to cost us money. Nah, we'll stay in the fort for now. We're under no great rush. But the ship of the enemy is going to come for us. Now, we're not totally out of the waters yet, of course. If Khan do stay with the Blue Wizards, there's a real risk we're about to lose Prince Adriel. And that'll be a pain. But, I can't believe we've just killed them through regicide. I wasn't even trying. I didn't even know where their family members were. That's just so... It's lucky, but also a bit of me feels regret, because now this campaign is almost certainly going to be won. But then that is what we set out to do. We attacked Finabel on purpose. We went for Finabel to deliberately try and cripple Harad. We've succeeded in crippling Harad now by actually killing them. But I'm disappointed that it has proven again that one of the most surefire ways of winning as Dol Amroth is to regicide one of your enemies. I think Harad, for the AI, we could definitely look to expand Harad's family tree a bit more, because I do feel that that's a touch too soon. 35 turns in and they've regicided. It's mad. Also, I do apologise if you can hear that coming through the window. I can hear it through my nearly noise-cancelling headphones. Someone outside is cutting something. Possibly wood. I'm not sure. But here we are. We still get to put this to the test. Kemik comes. Kemik has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of his 14 of his 21 units are mounted. We have 3 pike units ready to give him a damn good go, and we've also got Adriel, who's a master of war. I've saved it already, haven't I? But we'll save it again. Now remember, Vildan Calumet is only a town, and so we won't get very good towers. Now, if I can just say, the reason why I'm disappointed is because I really want Dol Amroth to be viable for many types of play. If you're a turtler, turtling does work as Dol Amroth, but it's arguably the most boring method of doing it. But turtling is an option there for those that do like that. But I don't want it to be that you have to rush someone out of the game. Every game should have multiple options. Now, most other factions have multiple options in their location. So if you're playing as Moria, for example, and you don't fancy attacking the Northern Dúnedain, you can completely ignore them. Go north, hit the elves, and then cross into the Vale of the Anduin. That is an option available to you. But as Dol Amroth, of course, you've got to go south. You can't really go north without backstabbing your own ally, which you're unlikely to do in a normal game. Right, we've put everyone back at the start, and now what we'll do is hold here. Right, let's just move the pikes down for now. So we'll have a pike on each side. But I'd really like Dol Amroth to be able to be played in at least two different ways. So either slowly going through Horondor, sort of beating everyone back, which in order to be viable, Horondor needs to be beefed up. Or the other option, of course, which I have now just displayed, which I didn't want to do and I've unwittingly displayed. The other option is regiciding someone or rushing someone out of the game. For us, it's purely happened to have been regicide. That wasn't really our intent, but that's what has become of it. Whereas we did rush them though. Right, we're in. So pikemen pull to there. Pikemen pull to there. We want to try and create a kill zone so that the one arch unit that we do have actually can use its arrows. Right, guardsmen. Seaward spearmen. Seaward spearmen, you come forward as well. I should have put you further forward. Adrian will hold you as a last resort because I really don't want you to die. You've done so well. And Horondor Axeman, let's send you around this side. Get you to flank. And then the horses coming out the main door. I don't think moving the horses out really is actually the best play, to be honest. I think the enemy will chase them down with their numerous cavalry. Right, and then guardsmen, if you come around that side, we'll go for that. The window isn't open or anything. I'm going to have a look while the enemy walks towards the gate. But apologies. Oh dear, it's sewage works. They've got a giant lorry out there and they're clearing out the sewage by pumping out all the excess. So that sound could well be going on for the entire time I record this, so I am terribly sorry if it does get picked up. I don't think it would get picked up too badly. My voice tends to cut out any surrounding noises, but if it does come through as a low whir, I am terribly sorry. But this is the only real time I have to record this, and I can't re-record it later, so it's now or never, I'm afraid. It just happens to be when they've decided to do their works. Right, come on then, you fools. Right, let's stop shooting because you're wasting your arrows. What's happening here with the siege? Absolutely nothing. Oh, we're getting shot at. But our towers are killing some of them.
The enemy are battering down our gates.
We just need that gate to go down so that the cavalry will start charging in. And then we don't want to get our cavalry too near because it will provoke them and they will attack us. Why do you keep stopping attacking the gate? Just bring it down, you fools. What is their problem? Come on, just hit the gate. There we are, they're finally through.
The enemy's ram is
Right, and then we'll get a huge swarm. Here it comes.
The enemy have the walls. To our defense or all will be lost.
Right, let's go for Faroon Mercs. Can you hit them? How successfully can you hit them? Cavalry that remained outside, you can at least come and charge anyone in the back. And we might manage to get some sort of morale shock out of you. Alright, run those two that we had around the side. I didn't move those forward. That was foolish. Our pikes are actually probably going to get overwhelmed, aren't they? Now that I think about it. Move the Seaward Spearmen forward.
Defeat seems almost certain.
Come out of defensive mode. Pikes hold that ground. Right, Seaward Spearmen, get in amongst that number and keep the pikes alive. This is the main pike unit, of course. They're the ones that actually have men left. And we'll be able to do something. Out of here, let's give ourselves a combat boost. Let's get our cavalry round in the back over here. And speed her up. Oh, someone is coming for us. Nomad Horsemen. That's absolutely fine. We've got a bodyguard unit in amongst that number, and they'll shred those horsemen. We might lose a few of them, though, but that's one unit taken out of the equation. What are we on? 26, 22.
Seems almost certain.
Annoyingly, it isn't cavalry that's hitting us up that main path. Come on, target the enemy, bring them down. We've got Adrian as backup, waiting at the end. Arrows flying in and hitting on top of those. That Nomad Horse unit is getting killed off, so that's one cavalry unit going down. It's just annoying that the few ground units they have actually sent forward, so the pikes are having to hold back grounds. But that's a wonderful screen, isn't it? Look at that. That's almost screenshot worthy. Let's take that away. It's the pikes folding over one another to beat down on the heads of Khand in this sort of pit beneath them. Fantastic. How are we doing over here? Still keeping... Yeah, Nomad Horsemen, just no chance, really. Particularly against the might of the Royal Swan Guard.
Seems almost certain.
Oh, shut up, mate. We're at 40-40, and they massively outnumber us. Quit your whining. Adrian has to wait until we can give another one of those. We have a much more powerful ability than they do, so we've got that on our side. How are we doing on the flanks? Dying off. But taking down a few. That 16 Nomad Horse unit still lives. Alright, pull out over there, see who follows you.
The enemy force remains.
That cavalry unit did, and they've paid the price for it. Right, now let's charge into the back there and just
Only half our force remains.
do something at the back. No, most of you have died off. They don't charge properly when the enemies are in gates. It always causes a problem. Oh, but we can see the ground now. We can see the floor. Success is coming. I'm not bothered if the cavalry here dies. Cavalry against Khand really is not the way. It's just not how you win against Khand. They'll always out-cavalry you because their roster is basically 70% cavalry. We gave them hardly any ground forces. Most of their army is cavalry-based. So they will always have an edge. And even if their cavalry isn't better than yours and you'll actually kill them in a one-on-one fight, they can still completely negate the benefits of your cavalry, which is their charging ability, by simply just surrounding you, clogging you down in melee like this. So even though we've not lost really many of our Royal Swan Guard, and he's taken down an entire battalion of Nomad Cavalry, he's still not doing what he's supposed to do. They can send crappy cavalry against him like marauders to keep him occupied, while the rest of their cavalry deals with your army. Although, he's probably going to die. But if they want to chase him, fantastic. Yeah, we'll send them on a merry chase. Come, friends. Come with me to the far walls where the other gate is. Let's see if we can keep him alive. Although these gates won't be firing at them, will they? These towers, sorry. Oh, we've lost a lot of troops now. 69-69. I can't believe we're on equal numbers in terms of losses. Go on, in you go. Yes, fantastic. Right, get you to the town square, and then Adrian, you move further forward. Let's keep them pinned. Give it another blast. Keep it up, keep it up. Archers, you can also pull back because you'll just die there. Adrian will come down the line. Come and get involved, my friend. Most of their army has died.
Changes in the course of battle. The defeat seems almost certain.
Where did Adrian just go? Did he just charge himself in? No, he's at the back. Fantastic. There he is. Oh, is that a unit routing I just saw? No. No, my eyes doth deceive me. Come on, Adrian. You're a demon of a warrior. Get in there and get him killed, son. Let's send some cavalry around the side. There are only 3 cavalry, but it still can go around the side. The towers are still on our side, of course. Still ticking away, killing what they can. Go on, take them down. There's only 4. There's 3 of you. You're much better than them. If the enemy general were to die, I think all of our woes and tribulations will pass. Take them off of defence now so the pikes can start pushing forward. The Variag nobles are down to 3. The Variag nobles are dead. Now, Adrian, now is the time. So we have held back an army that massively outnumbered us, but we have paid very dearly. Very dearly indeed. I'm not sure what's actually still alive. But it can't be much. Oh, Candish Raid is over there. Right, pull the infantry back to the town square. Keep those two here. And it's over. Yes! Prince Adrian, conqueror of Finabel, will be remembered as Dol Amroth's finest warrior. We lost 488 of the 700 we fielded, and they lost 1,887. You will not win here, Cand. This is where you will meet your end. And despite Adrian not appearing till the end of the battle, I feel like that was a perfect substitution, you know? That was one of those absolute dream substitutions where he's come on, 75th minute, scored a goal straight away. Totally swapped the momentum around. The Talon Knights took 2-7-3, taking the second kills despite joining the battle at the last few minutes. But holding the top spot, Anphalus Pikeman... What? Sorry, hang on, what? Holding the top spot is Anphalus Pikeman, who started the game with only 50 men. The Amrothian Pikeman, who started with 127, killed only 217. Even the 42 Amrothian Pikemen killed more. But I think what we can take away from that is that everyone there pulled their weight. Dol Amroth stood united, with the blue banners of the Swan waving high. They stood and shouted to the Candish men on the field before them, "This is where we stand, and this is where you die." Vildan Calame forever will be marked in the history of Cand as the turning point in the destruction of a once proud people. And Adrihil's face will be smeared across the nightmares of Candish men and women and children for years to come. With any luck, anyway. And there's a very real risk that they're about to be our allies. So we've got to watch out for that. I can't remember what turn it is that they turn. Ah, Mistvan did die. Oh, no, hang on. Mistvan did die, but not that one. Oh, Mistvan, no! Mistvan was the seaward spearman. He's absolutely crucial to our defence plans. And he's gone. Bugger. I'm not sure we're going to be able to weather the storm because there's a second Candish army of almost equal size that disappeared up there somewhere. And if they come in, then it's surely it's over. Barad-Han has been attacked. That will probably fall, but our army is now ready as we've just ended the turn, didn't we? Yes. Right, we're about to start losing money hand over fist, but it doesn't matter because we'll reclaim what is ours, and Lord Herimor will fall. But not only Lord Herimor, because in Khaldoon, away over here, we find Argimilkhad. And I think Argimilkhad is ripe for a taste of our raiding medicine. So we'll leave those two in there, where neither of them are free, but we'll leave them there nevertheless. Oh, a grain exchange, go on. Oh, we're losing so much money. That was possibly not the idea, not the best course of action. Now that we've got the army out. But the army, whilst we've got the army out, but it's now going to start actually winning things. It's easily going to take Imrahil's Point with almost no losses. We'll knock Azgazir back without any trouble. And I'll tell you what, we will just walk at them. There's no need to sail. They are better than us on the sea. They have so many more ships than we have. There's no point risking losing our whole army to a naval loss. So instead, we'll take our formidable army, led by Artheon. We shall take back Imrahil's Point, sail across to Han, kick Azgazir back with his tail between his legs, take back Godwell Mirlond, which we shall have to rename, in glory of Imrahil. Although he's already got Imrahil's Point, but I think something Imrahil related for Godwell Mirlond will do. Istion will be remembered in Tal al-Jaf, and then Khaldoon will fall, which hopefully Imrahil would have taken down already by the time we get there. All things going as we hope them to go. But I think we can give it at least one end turn, and then I'll end the episode once it's loaded back in. So, as we can pretty much all agree, the campaign is pretty much now won. We won't, unfortunately, know what would have happened had we not regicided Harad. Khand may well still, of course, side with Mordor, so they might still be our enemies for time to come. But with our army that we've just mustered, I don't think the Ardenaim have anything that can stop that. And Harad was already at a point where they were relatively beaten down. So I don't think Harad would have had an army to deal with us. I mean, at the moment, from what we can visually see, there is nothing stopping that army from walking all the way through and taking Umbar without any trouble. Look at Gondor getting all too big for their balls. Gondor, or as we shall now call him, Billy Big Balls, has landed on Tolfalas as well, and they think that they are going to take it before we can. I don't want to retrain that ship, and in fact, all I want that ship to do is come over here, link up with that one, and sit there. It's always bothered me that you can get ships out of a blockade. I've just never understood that. It just seems like a massive oversight. And the counter I've always seen from people is, but if you couldn't get your ships out, then you'd never be able to break the blockade. But I kind of think, yes, that's the point of the blockade, to shut down a naval enemy by keeping their ships in their own port. I've never liked the fact that you can get out of blockades. Look, they've got 2 generals now. Now, Argimilcard is their actual starting faction leader, and he has now an Aru Royal Guard. A very good unit that will make mincemeat of Imrahil, to be honest, if we try to kill them. But with Imrahil and Istion together, they might succeed. Kastarian, he also has, he has Naru and Aru Household Guard. Obviously, they share a similar visual. They are as good as each other, with the Royals just clinching it ever so slightly. The moral of the story is that they're both fantastic at killing cavalry and not who we really want to be running head on into. So I'm not sure that Imrahil will be able to regicide them out of the game. But he could probably take down Nimrazir without any trouble. So we'll attack him in a minute. Keep Tal al-Jaf safe. Yeah, we'll take in and take him out. We're about to take Imrahil's point where Herimor has retreated. Yep. He's got a couple of good units. I mean, Baradhan is going to fall. There's nothing I can do about that. We lose money now, so that's
no fool.
Done and dusted.
Send your emissary, my lord.
I don't know where that Kandish army has gone, but I hope it's gone to destroy itself on Gondor's castle. Of course, though, Khand are now bolstering their strength because all of these rebel regions are now falling to them. We've got to try and put the blade in the back of the Ardenaim quite quickly so that Khand don't grow into all the land that Harad have left for them. Although Khand, what culture do you use? Men of the East at the moment, of course. Which means that all of Harad's territories are very, very helpful for you. They are all prime candidates for your conquest. Whereas, of course, when they change to join the Blue Wizards, they swap to nomadic, so all of these regions are useless to them. But anyway, that is where I'm going to end this episode. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. I do hope that those of you who are telling me how absolutely awful I play the game and how there's no way he's ever going to win, I do hope that you just take a brief moment to reflect on the fact that there are more than one ways to win. And also, you don't have to be a demigod at this game or follow a set path in order to win. If we do not win this campaign, I will be incredibly surprised. We have almost certainly won it. That army will walk through Umbar without any trouble from the Ardenaim, and Khand versus Dol Amroth in a one-on-one with all the backing of the Umbarim regions behind us, they stand no chance. Our actual victory conditions, something I haven't considered looking into. 30 regions we need to hold. We currently only have 8, so there's a long way to go for that. We need Dol Amroth, we need Umbar, we need Finabel, and we need to destroy Harad and the Ardenaim. Now, we've defeated Harad already. We just need to nip back and get Finabel. Speaking of nipping back and getting Finabel. Sellswords, you cost me a lot of money, don't you? Yeah. Let's send you back as a scout. Who have we bumped into? Marwan. Don't worry about that. When you get the chance, just get around him and go take that. I think once Imrahil and Istion have completed their raiding on Nimrazir and Azruban, if they head back east and take Finabel now, we can get that set up in our control. That'll be good. But anyway, as I say, that's going to end this episode. I apologise that most of these episodes just seem to be me telling off people that watch. But of course, the few naysayers that always wind me up are only few and far between. And I just like to try and counter their points with logic where possible. Or just try and counter their points at all. I feel so many people speak before they've really thought everything through on the internet. But it could just be a sign of youth. My past is far from laudable in terms of internet-based dialogue. But now that I'm older, you just think, I shouldn't say that, or no, that's a stupid comment to have made when I'm reading a comment. But anyway, that's by the by. For now, this concludes. So, there'll be a third Dol Amroth episode on Monday, and then I'm off all next week, actually, so the videos should be fine. I might look to try and do the top 10 pikes that you've all been desperate for a while, or crossbows, because I've got all week off. And at this weekend, I will do the first of my new set of sort of lore meets DaC lore for factions. It's basically just going to be a breakdown of what's the history of the faction, what's the information from the lore that we have about the faction, and then what has DaC done for its own lore. And I'll try and do what I can to make those videos a bit better, a bit more polished than they were before. But until we speak again, dear friends, thank you for your ongoing continued support, and do be well. But Navar Naden Pedamad Melonin, and farewell.